because everyone just thinks all metalheads want are beer and like dark stuff all over the place.
A lot's happened since yesterday.
My friends, welcome to another episode of A Lot's Happened Since Yesterday. Quick few things. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. Share these videos and brand new share and join our new Facebook group. We just started it. It's popping off. I didn't expect it. Shout out to the new Facebook people. We love you. Let's get to the show. My name, as always, is Cody Walker.
And I'm Ralph Bousseau. And joining us today is our special guest, the rhythm guitarist from the Grammy-nominated band August Burns Red, Brent Rambler. How you doing, brother?
Good. I'm great. Thanks for asking.
Oh, Brent, let's get straight into the EP for first.
Yeah.
The Guardian Sessions. Did you guys design that as a secondary, or is it just something that came because you had extra material? What's up with that?
We had released the Phantom sessions from Phantom Anthem, the previous record.
Right.
And so it was something that, like, an idea that was kind of thrown around. Whether or not we had enough material was going to be another thing. But, we left the studio with 2 extra tracks when we recorded Guardians. So we knew we had at least those. And then people have always really liked the reprise tracks that we've done. We did a couple of those for previous records, and people really liked those. And then, we found ourselves with this extra time now to do, the Chop Suey cover and the Westworld cover. JB had been working on that Westworld cover for a long time. He really loves the show.
Yeah.
And he was like, all right, well, now I got time to finish it. So we had something in the works, but we weren't sure if it was all going to come together and be as full of an EP as it was. It's like a lot of like cool material, whereas sometimes when you do like an EP, like after you do a record, you're throwing in like some really random stuff. Whereas we felt like it was a pretty strong release to have.
Is there any specific reason you guys didn't include was it Icarus into the original recording?
Icarus and Standing in the Storm, just when we looked at the record as a whole, they felt like 2 different tracks. Not that they were bad or like we thought they were lesser than, they felt different versus the rest of the album. So that's why we kind of said, hey, maybe we can put these on a separate release some other time. And, this all kind of worked out well for that.
Dude, isn't that frustrating though? Because you write these tracks and you get this flow and it just becomes glaring and you're like, cutting room. What do I do? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just like, sometimes you look at a song and you just say, like this one doesn't really fit after this unbelievably heavy track. And, right before this other unbelievably heavy track, it just kind of feels weird in the flow. Like It's not like, hey, this song sucks or anything like that. It's just simply that sometimes they don't fit the rest of the record. And that's kind of what happened.
Right. That's still fresh.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, sure. I mean, you still, you want, it would have been frustrating if they never saw the light of day. That's when I think it would get frustrating. And luckily for us, like we've never made material that we haven't released, which is awesome. Like we've put out every song that we've ever written.
That's ultra rare, man. That's cool.
Yeah, we've done that. Just like it's somehow just every song we've ever made has come out and people have been able to hear it in one way, shape, or the other. Some a little bit more rare than others, but you can hear them if you want.
So whose idea was it to do Chop Suey?
It's kind of like something we wanted to do for a while. It's a song that we always had like in the mix, like before you go on stage, the band's sound engineer usually plays like a house, like the music mix, like, as changeovers happening.
Yeah.
And Chop Suey was one of the songs that was just on there for a while. And whenever we would get to that song, people would just sing it like crazy and go absolutely bananas, like to changeover music. And we were like, what the heck's going on here? So eventually we just started putting it right before our intro played and to like get the crowd as amped up as possible before we took stage. And it just kind of stuck for years. And then we just said, we should cover this song and we'll cover it. And then it worked out really well because we were able to kind of like surprise debut it right before our like Christmas show live stream. So that way it felt really like you were actually at an August Burns Red concert, because you got to hear Chop Suey played right before we came on stage. But in this, it was like our version, and it was a surprise. Like only those people who like bought tickets to the live stream were able to hear it like that night as it came out. And it was just like a total, just like, wait, this is the cover, not the actual Chop Suey song. Like this is the cover. So that was cool.
That was very cool. That's cool that you did that for your fans too. I'm sure they appreciate that kind of stuff. Speaking of which, is that something that you guys have to all, as band members, you all have to carry that responsibility of dealing with fans on social media?
We deal with them individually, sure, but JB, the other guitar player, and I, we manage the band. So a lot of times if you're talking to August Burns Red on social media, you're talking to him or I. But like everyone individually messages and replies and tries to stay as active with members as possible. And we too have a really active Facebook group. That was something we started when we learned that like Facebook's algorithm was going to get even tougher to get by. So we started that a couple of years ago, and that's doing really well. And we communicate a lot in there as well. That
seems to do well, how the groups. Yeah. That's awesome, man.
That
I know that you.
Sorry, dude. Go ahead.
You gonna say, Cody? No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that whole social media thing is starting to get a little overwhelming. Every single time you turn around, they're like, no. Now, I mean, for the love of Lord, YouTube. Now they're wanting us to do 1 minute shorts and make sure your phone's held a certain way. And I was like, I thought that's what TikTok was for. Why are we doing it? And now TikTok's going 3 minutes. You guys can do 3 minutes. Like, wait, I thought you guys were short form.
Plus, he said that they are managing the band too. Is it you and the singer?
Guitar player, the other guitar player.
Oh, good Lord, man.
You two are both managing. So you guys have all the behind the scenes work to do as well. So I'm sure it's really overwhelming. Yeah.
I can't imagine, brother. Hats off to you, man. That's
tough, man. Yeah. And a new social media just pops up like every couple of years. And the labels are all like, you guys got to get on this. And we're like, oh, come on. Like, it's already so much.
It is a lot of time. Are you guys taking advantage of the live stream? You mentioned that you guys did one for Christmas.
Yeah, we did a 15-year anniversary for the debut record, Bill Seeker live stream. And then a month after that, we did our Christmas Burns Red live stream. And then here in 2 weeks coming up on May 22nd, we have our 10-year anniversary live stream. So yeah, we've taken advantage of it, and it's worked out really well for us because we own and operate our own web store. So, and that's like new as of last year. Our web store that we had, unfortunately, the company that owned all the web stores that they had went out of business. So we were just like, all right, I guess we'll make our own. So we did that. And then, fortunately, there's apps now that you can just put straight into your Shopify store and run a live stream from them. So that's what we've been doing, and it's worked out swimmingly. So we're really happy with that.
Right on. Going live works out for you guys very well.
I mean, with live, you always have, you have weird things happen all the time. But yeah, I mean, you control it the best you can, rehearse a ton. But yeah, you definitely seen some devastating things happen. You just try and mitigate that the best you can.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole live thing is a whole new world.
Yeah. And like, you see like a lot of these live stream things popping up, and like new live stream companies are happening. And I'm like, I wish you guys well, but I also don't, because I don't want to do this.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because,
like I don't want this to be like the future,
Are you 100% into gaming at all?
No, I'm not. I mean,
okay.
Like that's the thing. Like all that stuff is huge, but like, and that's fine. But like for bands, like we all want to be on tour. We want to play shows for humans, not shows for humans. Not shows for humans via a computer,
That's what I was going to say. It doesn't translate well. Like that's the same thing with the comedian people. All the professional stand-up comedians are like, look, we know you want us to sit in front of a camera and tell jokes. It's not the same. That energy that musicians and comedians, we feed off of that, and we need that.
Yeah, you do. Like you need to hear people laughing in the room to know your joke's funny,
Exactly.
To know how it's going. So like, and that's how it is for us. We're like, playing these shows, we're like, okay, do people like it? Or are they currently enjoying what's happening? And Like, then there's like admins in the chat room for these streams that are like, yeah, they like it. Okay.
Yeah, we promise it's good. Well, and have you
feeding off of that kind of energy?
Yeah.
well, when you're doing live too, you can kind of, you can judge the crowd and make adjustments or say different things to get them a little more popping and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're,
for sure. Like a lot of times, like if you're playing a concert, like it happens on a support tour more than a headline tour. If you're just like, okay, tonight the crowd's not ours, they're here to see somebody else. Like you can say like, maybe I should just like chill out on like the headbanging and like play well. So they're like, oh, I like this music. And then they get into the band, versus like, going like balls to the walls and like going nuts because everyone there is there to see you and they already know the music really well. So like you can kind of adjust. Whereas in a live stream setting, you're just like, I'm just going to play, see how it goes.
I always wondered how that worked.
Yeah.
Right on. So when you've got the crowd, you can fuck off a little bit.
Well, that's the thing. Like I'm of the belief that like so if you have a crowd full of people that know your music, if you mess up, it's pretty rare that like a crowd of people that know your music notice that. And that's because they know the songs. So they're hearing them as they know them and as they hear them. And if you mess up a little bit here and there, it just goes right over their head because they already know, they know the song so well that they're just kind of hearing it as they're supposed to. Whereas if you don't know the songs at all and you're just like hearing and listening to something and a sour note happens, you're like, oh, I'll have a sour note.
That's true. That's true. You're ultra focused. I never thought of that, but that's true. I remember
you
this.
guys have a lot of experience winning over crowds, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've been around for a long time and done a ton of support tours. And I mean, back when we first started, it was all about just touring with as many bands as possible. Like we didn't have social media when we first started. Like that wasn't really, we had a little, like MySpace was like kind of just starting when we were first starting. So like we didn't have like that thing where you can just build your fan base on socials and via streaming and all that stuff. We built it by playing live concerts, and that's just kind of how we always went, I guess.
Do you
think MySpace may be the first time I heard of you guys? I think it was like 2005. I saw you guys on a MySpace thing. Somebody posted about you guys and I was like, oh, right on.
Yeah.
I remember getting on like you got on the front page of MySpace and like you were set for a little while.
Yeah.
But like, that was a big deal. MySpace was still probably the best social media for music. Like I think so too. If you look back at how it was set up and it was just you go straight to this page, boom, there's music. You can listen to their songs and that's that. Like it was.
Remember Metal Sanaz?
Yeah.
She would push all the metal bands. Yeah.
Well, and well, let me ask you guys this. Do you think it's an advantage or a hindrance with all the social media? Because there's something to be said about getting on the road and making your bones touring and getting out there rather than just sitting at home and going, I'm great.
I mean, it depends on what kind of band you are. I mean, the thing is, if you want to make a living straight off just social media, you have to be absolutely gigantic on social media. Whereas like if you make a living touring, you can play for 500 people a night, which is great. Obviously, if you're a band doing 500 kids a night, you're doing well. But like you can make a living doing that and you don't have to have 2 million followers on Instagram. Right. Like it's a little bit, maybe a little bit of both. Like, and that's where you have to try and find your balance of playing concerts and doing things online. Like and for us, it's always just going to be, we're going to go play shows. That's what we like to do. That's why we started a band, and we'll keep our fans happy on social media. We're extremely active. We probably post more than most bands, and that's because we are self-managed and we are like, if we make a post on social media and it has something to do with the web store and then we see web store sales immediately after that, like we're like, okay, that's great. Cool. Like we immediately see the benefits. A lot of bands don't have that luxury, I guess.
Yeah.
So what about touring? Do you guys prefer festival touring where you were on a bunch of festivals, or do you prefer just straight touring certain areas that you think your fan base is solid?
They both have their purpose, playing festivals like that have huge crowds and stuff is always exciting. And that's like where you're going to get, hopefully gain some new fans. But playing to 20,000 people at a festival, and there's 2,000 people who are like super stoked to see you, they get lost in the mix, whereas if you play to New York City, you go to New York City, you play a show, and there's 2,000 people there just to see you. Obviously, that crowd's going, with that room feels way more nuts, obviously. But they each have their own purpose. You play festivals to gain fans, like that's the point. And that's fun to do. It's fun to walk on stage and see a sea of people watching your band and hopefully collecting new fans. But it's also obviously a blast to play to a room of 1,500 to 2,000 people that are going absolutely bananas.
That's true.
I have a question because a big part of the show is we try to help like up and coming musicians and artists when they're trying to figure out their way. You just said you get on festivals to gain new fans and stuff like that. And if you get on a rock festival or metal festival, you can pretty much guess there's a lot of people who may not have heard you, but they're going to like you. Right.
Yeah.
How broad of line do you think there is between getting on a show and going, I'm not going to take that show because those fans are just not my demographic?
We play like some weird rock and pop festivals for sure. And the thing is there, like what you're hoping there is that there are people who got drugged to that festival by their girlfriends or their other friends. And you're like, but I like metal. And then you're going to be that one metal band at that festival that dude really wants to see. Like, that's the thing. Like, he may never have heard of your band, but all he knows is that there's a metal band that's going to come play, and I'm going to go watch them. So, we've done a couple of those festivals, and what's funny is that a lot of the rock and pop festivals have like way better catering and like beautiful backstages for some reason, because everyone just thinks all metalheads want are beer and like dark stuff all over the place. So like that's what's funny about those. But yeah, and that we obviously know where we fit, but will we accept a festival slot on like some kind of more out there festival for us? Sure, we will. If it fits in our routing, that's obviously a huge deal. And then like B, if we look at the lineup and we can think, oh, there's some hope that there will be a bunch of metalheads there, then sure, like we'll take that chance. Like we did this festival, I forget the name of it, but it was in a town called Hove in Norway. And we were just like, okay, Norway, pretty good chance that no matter what, there's going to be people who like metal there. But so like but it was more of a, like the Shins played, and it was more of a, like an indie festival that just happened to have like a metal stage, and like, and it was awesome. Yeah. So, you take that chance, but you definitely have to weigh a lot of different things that could either be good or bad. So there is a lot more calculation to doing something like that than just going, well, it's a show. Yes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you're younger, if you're a newer band starting out, play them all. Like, you never know. But like for us, it's okay, we're going to play a show. Is it going to be a waste of time? Maybe. So maybe we shouldn't do it. But most of the time we play. That makes sense. Right on.
What's the beer like in Norway?
Good. I mean, they have there's some good stuff up there. There's a brewery. It's called Tuol. It's T-O, and then there's an O with a line through it, and then L. And I think it literally just means beer. But I forget. But it's amazing. It's incredible.
Very cool.
I love Scandinavia. It's amazing.
I bet that must have been an awesome experience.
Yeah, we got to ride there on a boat. That was neat.
Right on. Well, Brent, thank you so much for coming on, bro. We really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about the new release. And if you haven't checked it out, you got to check these guys out. If you like really heavy music, these guys are deadly for sure. August Burns Red, they just released Guardian Sessions. Did I say that right? Guardians Sessions.
I know, a lot of S's, right?
Not as easy to say as you would want. But it's a great EP, and they have a really, really cool version of
Chop Suey.
Now we can Chop Suey. Got it.
Freaking nailed that version.
My head for a second. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, check it out. You'll dig it.
So how psyched you guys are getting ready to get back on the road though?
Very. We really hope that we got word that our Kill Switch tour is going to be in the first half of 2022. And then we have festivals in the fall. So, we're really excited. Like so the other day, we got like a news thing in Pennsylvania. I guess all COVID mitigation measures will be stopped on May 31st, like except they have to accept mask wearing.
Right.
And so I literally texted our guitar player, JB, the other manager. I'm like, the desire to gig on June 1st is so high. Just like secret show, it's free.
Yeah, find a pizza place. Let's just do it.
Like, I was just like, oh my God. But and that's what kind of stinks. You have a lot of fans who they see that and they just say like, oh great, like you guys gonna play a show in June or what? And you're like, well, no, it takes a really long time to like get a show together and like make it happen. So we'll see you this fall, hopefully, at some of these fests.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Because I want to come watch you guys for sure. Because you guys are phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah.
You're like, of course, dude, man. Where you been?
Hiding under a rock.
Apparently,
check out the videos too, guys, because they're fun to watch. These guys make their instruments look so effortless to play. It's just ridiculous.
It's kind of stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh man!
Thanks again, brother, for coming on. We appreciate your time.
No worries.
Absolutely,
yeah,
Brent. It was
You
super
guys
nice
have
to
a
meet
video
you.
coming out.
No videos coming out right now. We shot a video recently. Can't tell you what it's for. That'll come out sometime, hopefully this summer. We'll see. But no videos for the Guardian sessions or any. Well, we did do a music video. First song, "Standing in a Storm," has a video, and then we had the live stream. So if you want to watch a video, we got a live stream coming out. You can watch that.
Okay, cool. Where can everybody catch you guys? What's your main website?
You can go to augustburnsred.com, but if you want to head to the live stream page, it's just abrlivestream.com. About as easy as it gets.
Right on. All right, everybody.
Cool.
That'll do it for us on this one. Make sure you go follow August Burns Red. Make sure you go check out the live streams, check out Guardian sessions, and make sure you go watch them out for them on tour because they're coming. It's about time, too. It is about time.
Thank you. Well, thank you very much.
All right, Brent. Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you, brother.
Yep. Take care.
Bro. Have a good one.
Yep, you too. See ya.
Later.
So to everybody that just subscribed, we want to thank you very much for subscribing. We can't tell you how much we appreciate the support. It's kind of overwhelming, actually. We just started this less than 6 months ago, and already we're seeing a lot of growth. So we really appreciate everybody that's getting behind us on this, and we also appreciate those that are sharing it and liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. So please remember, if you can, share this with your friends and tell them, go ahead, subscribe, because this is good stuff. This is especially for musicians, but this is for everybody as well.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking to entertainers. We got a lot of really crazy good stuff coming your way. So be a part of it, guys. Be a part of our tribe.
Absolutely.
Because a lot has happened since yesterday.
Absolutely. Like the page, subscribe, share. Go join us on the Facebook group because you guys are blowing it up and it's fun and we're just getting started with that. And as always, be good people. Take care of each other. Always forward. Peace.
Always forward. Peace.